Hey, good morning. It's Mark here with another morning rant. It's 4:21. Hey, yeah, I've been gone for a couple of days, doing stuff, getting ready and everything, but you're not gonna believe what's going on here. Everyone knows, well, at least everyone in the political realm knows that Fox News, Tucker Carlson, some Republicans, a lot of conservatives, majority of GQPers, those who love Trump. We already know that these people still give Vladimir Putin praise for what he's doing. You have a communist oligarch country invading a democratically elected president of his own country. And you got people on the right who are praising this guy. But at the same time, you got some people that are trying to catch themselves and fix themselves, i.e. Tucker Carlson. Now, this guy goes on and tries to apologize for his support in praising Putin. But who does he blame for his praise of Putin?
Say we don't know anything beyond what we just showed you, the pictures, a lot of pictures that we just put up. We don't know how this happened. We, of course, don't know where it's going. Nobody does. But Ben Hall is clearly right when he says this could be a legitimate disaster for Europe. But, of course, the invasion of Ukraine already is a legitimate disaster for Europe and the rest of the world. Europe just lost a huge percentage of its energy supply, which is not a small thing. We're all being reminded of that. So this situation appears to become more chaotic by the day, possibly even spinning out of control. And that, we must be honest, is shocking to us. We've been taken by surprise by the whole thing. We're not the only ones who were, but we're willing to admit it. The only thing more embarrassing than being wrong in your estimates is pretending that you weren't. So why didn't we see this coming, this total loss of control? Well, because we assumed that if things were dire, serious people would be involved in fixing them. But we looked up and we saw Kamala Harris involved, and that reassured us. Harris had just come back from Europe where she'd been conducting, quote, diplomacy with her allies, and that appeared to be proof this could not really be a big deal. The situation in Ukraine had been legitimately serious. If the future of Europe and the world hung in the balance, as now so obviously it does.
Okay. You can go and watch the rest. He is blaming Kamala Harris. He is saying that we played around with this. We played around with the Russia thing. We played around with Vladimir Putin. We toyed around with this on our show because we thought that because they sent in Kamala, that this was all a joke, that everything was good to go, that this wasn't as serious as it's turned into. So we played around with it. He's blaming Kamala Harris for his negligence. Mind-boggling. And so he goes on to say, and you can, like I said, you can go watch the rest. He goes on to say that Kamala Harris's job is not to negotiate with world leaders when it comes to something as dire as this, what's going on now. Kamala Harris has 2 jobs per the Constitution. 2. Only 2 jobs per the Constitution. She is the president of the Senate, so she breaks the tie. She has no vote in the Congress. She presides over the Congress. Technically, her job is to sit in that chair and conduct the ebbs and flows of Congress as the president of Congress. But she don't. They get people to rotate out the chair. It's like if you've ever been in the military, it's like duty. You got duty today, you got duty tomorrow, you got duty next Thursday. It's duty for them, for the members of the Senate. And a lot of the rookies, they end up doing it a lot too. So her job is breaking a tie in the Senate. If it's ever 50-50, she comes in, breaks the tie, she goes back home. Her second job is to take over as president of the United States if the actual president of the United States become incapacitated. Now, President Tyler fought for this when William Henry Harrison died. When Tippecanoe died, 30 days into his presidency, Vice President Tyler took over as president. Okay, is he acting president? Is he full president? Is he just an interim president until we make another election? What is he? He said, no, goddammit, per the Constitution, I'm the president. So, Kamala Harris, if anything, God forbid, happens to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris steps in as president. Being that she will step in as president if he is incapacitated, she has got to be abreast. She has got to get the presidential data report. She has got to get she got to be in the meetings. She don't have to be in everything, but she has to be there. And added on over the years, what has happened is presidents have given their vice presidents certain tasks. Hey, I want you to lead this. I want you to lead that. I want you to lead this. And Joe Biden has put trust, faith, and confidence in his vice president to go overseas, not to talk to Putin. She didn't go over to talk to Putin. She went over to strengthen the relationship amongst the allies because they knew what was coming. They knew what was coming. So he gave a fluff piece on her laughing with children, laughing with reporters, stumbling over her words. Everybody stumbled. You can find videos of every president mumbling or vice president mumbling over their words. You can make any video look like they're just dumb. Any president or vice president, any political figure. You can take a video and make them look like they have no idea what they're talking about. And that's exactly what he did. He's blaming this Russia war on Kamala Harris. And that's just not the case. This is nobody's fault in America. This is Putin. Now, we can say, all right, well, this is nobody's fault in America. However, let me caveat that with this. It was Trump that did not give the $400 million to Ukraine to help them bolster up their defenses against Russia. It was Trump that told the RNC to take out of their platform that we're not going to support Ukraine. It was Trump that every time the Congress put out a sanction against Russia, it was Trump that said, I don't want to do this, but he had no choice because the Congress overrode him. It was Trump that tried to give Putin as much power as he could so that he could invade Russia or Ukraine. The only reason why Putin is attacking Ukraine now is because he knows there's a Democrat in the White House that's going to back Ukraine. And he got to take them out before that backing becomes too powerful for him to stop. Look at what Ukraine's doing now. Ukraine has taken out one of Russia's top commanders. They've killed about 6,000 of their troops, of Russian troops. They've slowed down their progress. There's a 40-mile convoy that's stuck because Ukraine, the military and the people of Ukraine have stopped them. So that's just Ukraine being Ukraine. Now, what if Ukraine had that $400 million that was promised by the Congress? That was promised by the Republican Congress that Trump blocked? What if on that call when he told them to do him a favor, what if when Zelensky said, hey, President Trump, I'm ready to give you more money for your weapons, Trump would have gave it to him instead of saying, well, yeah, I'll give it to you, but I want you to do me a favor first. So you can't put this solely on Biden. You could put the blame on Biden now because he's president and say, okay, Biden, you could have done more. Well, what could he have done more? They put sanctions on them. They've done everything they could. You cannot go into a country that's not, well, you can go into a country that's not a NATO ally, but they're trying to let Ukraine know you have got to become a NATO ally for us to go in and help you. So that's why Biden is saying, I'm not going to put troops in Ukraine because they're not a NATO country, but I will support a democratically elected country over a communist oligarch. And so Tucker Carlson just sat there and tried to put this entire thing on Kamala Harris. Why? Because number one, Joe Biden may not run in 2024. And hell, if he run, God forbid, the man might not survive 2024. I'm not saying that you die at a certain age, but any president can just, for whatever reason, pass away. Knock on wood. He don't want Kamala Harris to try to excel and become president herself, because if let's look at it like this: if Obama finished his 8 years and Biden came in right after Obama, that would have been 12 years of Democrat leadership in this country. So what's a good way of knocking down any potential leaders? Attacking them. That's what he's doing. He sat there and said, I've been backing and kissing Russia's ass for the last umpteen days. But now that the world has turned on Russia, now that Republicans are embracing Ukraine, I'm going to go out and say, well, I didn't know because they put Kamala out there. Had I known, whatever, man. Hey, today is Friday. Again, I apologize for being out this week. I would have gone over a breakdown of the State of the Union, but the State of the Union is like a fluff piece for Republicans and Democrats. They say this is what we've done in the last year. They get a lot of praise, and then they say this is what we want to do in the next year, and they get a lot of praise, and barely anything happens because you got opposition on both sides. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that, people. You guys have a great Friday. Hope you had a great week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on the next one. Now, a lot is going to happen to me and my family over the next week, so I may be in and out, but I'll come in, whenever the news needs to be explained. And let me just say this, because I got a certain person out there that believes I regurgitate the news. It's not that I'm regurgitating the news. I am giving a layman's perspective of the news, because I'm not saying that my audience is ignorant, but maybe my audience is not aware or don't understand some of the ins and outs, the intricacies of the political world and how history plays into that. So that's where I come in. I come in and fill that void. I say, hey, this is what they said on the news, but this is what it means. But anyway, I will see you guys on the next one. I'm out. Y'all take care. All right. Be safe.